When I'm asked to speak at a function, I often want to know who it is I'm speaking to, even if it's the same topic. I want to know who the audience is. The reason for that is because I'm going to speak, if I'm going to speak on spiritual principles, for example, I'm going to give a very different talk if it's at a detox or a rehab than I would if it was at a meeting with a bunch of seasoned members. Or another example is, I'm trying to teach Ellie how to hit a baseball. And what we do is we bought a tee. We bought a plastic bat and a ball and a tee, and we're teaching her just how to get the swing down. We didn't start by going out there and me rifling curveballs at her, making her stand in there for curveballs. It's just not where she's at. See, and that's the whole point here. If we watch Jesus with this deaf guy, one of the things that he did for him that was so loving, that was so effective, was that he met the guy where he was at. He pulled him aside. He got in front of him. He gestured to him because he was deaf. He explained to him in a way that he could understand what was going on. If he would have just healed him, or just spoken a word, or just touched him and just healed him miraculously without any of that, the guy would have had no idea what just happened to him. It would have went right over his head. And I'm not suggesting that we don't challenge people. What Jesus did to this man was certainly challenging to him. It was a big act of faith for that guy to stand in there like he did and to respond as he did. It was a challenge to him. But it wasn't way over his head. It wasn't this huge, massive challenge. And I think sometimes when we're dealing with people, especially if we're becoming frustrated with somebody, we have somebody who wants to move forward, who wants to grow spiritually, and they just don't seem to be going to where it is we think that they need to go. And we're frustrated. It might be that we're not meeting them where they are. It might be a situation where I am annoyed with Ellie, I'm frustrated with Ellie because she's not standing in the batter's box and facing down that curveball, when she really just needs to work on the fundamentals of swinging a baseball bat. We need to meet people where they are. We can't shoot so high that they have no chance of moving forward. And when they do move forward, listen, if Ellie's swinging and she keeps hitting the tee and keeps hitting the tee and keeps hitting the tee, and then one of the times she comes around and makes contact at all with the baseball, even if it's just a trickling foul, we need to celebrate that. Progress has been made. Praise God. We need to be quick to celebrate those little milestones, moving forward. It shows that there's life. There's something happening, and trust me, God celebrates this. Man, we become frustrated with ourselves because sometimes we set the bar too high for ourselves. God's asking us just to do the next thing that's just challenging enough, and we're trying to do some crazy thing that's way out there. Not a bad thing, but it's just not where we're at. And we can lose patience even with ourselves. So listen, if you're frustrated with somebody in your life, examine that. Maybe you're setting the bar too high. If you're frustrated with yourself, know that God's meeting you where you are. He is challenging you. Rest assured, and we should challenge others. There's no doubt about it. But God is never going to shoot so high over our head that it's a position of complete frustration. So we shouldn't do that to others, and we certainly shouldn't hold that standard above us. We need to lower the bar, be met by God where we are, and meet others where they are. Because after all, that's exactly what Jesus did when he became man and dwelt with us, is it not?